let's see what the cards have in store for us tonight. Welcome everyone to the deck of long lost things. My name is Philip and I am your dungeon master, and I am joined by several of the most delightful players I ever did see. Say, deal us in, players.
Hello.
Deal us in,
Players.
I, again,
Nope, nobody else?
have to say
Players.
that, and I know that the last thing Lauren needs is more compliments, but something that Friday group is so good at is just being in the moment and yes-anding. And 7? What's the 7 about?
For your intro tonight.
Oh, it's a 7?
Yeah.
I wouldn't give him to that high. But that Friday group, they are so good at just, I say this thing, and they all do it because they're all actors, and actors are
They're
fun
fucking sheep, Philip.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, I'm in that group.
Yeah.
I stand by it.
Also,
in fact, I stand harder on it.
KJ, literally everyone else in this game is one. So,
Also, you're not wrong. I am cheap.
let's just kick things off here with today's dive. So
What are we guessing, kids? What are we guessing?
I'll give you
really
some
like
updates. We have now had a couple of. I'm so sorry you're gonna hold this for so long. We have now had 3 dice with the. Yeah, you can put it up for a while. We have had 3 dice with a wolf upon it: a D12, a D20, and a D10. We have had 2. Count them 2. Bloody dice, a D6 and a D8. That's another symbol. We still have only had 1 of these bats with moons. That was the D4.
That's a chicken. Oh no.
It's a chicken. And then we have had 3 misty dice, being a percentile, a D8, and a D6.
So is that 4 styles or 5?
There are 4 styles that we've seen so far, but there also will probably be other dice that are other styles. So we've had mist, wolf, blood, and bat and moon. And you can even say just the style, and I can remind you what dice have been chosen from that yet.
Bat 20. Bat 20.
Bat 20.
I'm going bat 6.
Bat 20, bat 6.
Which wolves do we have?
20, 12, and 10.
Ooh, no. That's bad. That's bad. Okay, what? That's
Abort.
yeah. What blood do we have?
Blood is 8 and 6.
Or you know what? No, I'm gonna split and bet on 2 things. It's either gonna be bat 6 or you can't tell me what to fucking do,
That's
Philip.
true. I can't, but okay. You'll only get half rewards.
I'll take it. And then
You can hedge like that.
or
That's
it's
not.
gonna be like a coin or something that makes you do a 50-50.
Understood. They do. There are a lot of those in there. Actually, one of
Okay,
those. There was a stretch goal for this that is a metal skeleton key 1-2.
Oh wait,
Flip.
was that already in there?
No. This was in like the box. This was a stretch goal, not part of the thing, from the Kickstarter.
Oh, then never mind. I'm just doing the bat d6.
Bat D6, Bat D20. Dan,
Blood 20.
Blood 20. Do you want to guess?
No.
Andrew,
Do we have missed 4 already?
we do not have a missed 4.
Missed 4.
All right,
I don't know.
let's find out.
I'm missing on that one.
I don't really like this game.
I apologize. Wait,
Barely
the
started.
puns or the opening the thing and guessing what's inside?
Everything.
Any of it?
No redeeming quality.
Did somebody guess a blood 20 tonight?
Yes.
Oh, damn it. I thought about it.
Blood
Well
20.
done.
Dan,
It's the king has returned
well,
the king.
Kevin called it on Monday.
Yes, but remember
Does he get
last
his-
time I was calling it so well.
He called
all
it
the time.
so many times in a row last year. It was
Sure.
wild.
Does he get inspiration for calling it?
You do in fact get heroic inspiration.
Hell yes.
And
baby.
I really should give that to more of you. Also, first roll was a 19, which kind of bodes well because that's very close to a 1, but also is pretty darn good on the die. So, fun times. Well,
Darn tootin'.
well, great, everyone. Well, welcome. I'm so excited for this game. I'm so excited you guys are now on the sea. You're sailing these beautiful tropical skeleton keys.
Oh, right.
Before we jump into it, I guess I should do I'll kind of do it like I do for the thing. In our last game, having met the very strange Acid Frost and kind of been put off by his demands, you all chose to kind of walk away from him after he made undead attack you in the night so you could prove your mettle. He could show you how serious things were. Most of you, actually, literally everyone here slept in a tavern. You awoke the next morning to kind of converse over breakfast over what you should do, but when Kha'rack, your dragonborn friend or dragonborn who slept on the beach and has had some interesting ideas as per what you should do with Institute Tenacity, arrived and suggested that you all that kind of started making demands about, well, I saw this and tell me what this means, and I found this on the beach. You basically, between this and then going out and kind of checking on Acid Frost, learned that restitution, that crimson-skinned tiefling who had been with you in the graveyard when you sort of first met, that she killed Acid Frost and took whatever information he had, which kind of Tenacity had sort of said, well, he did say there was a betrayer among us, there was some kind of shady individual. So as it happened, you all now know who that might have been, who might have been there for the wrong reasons, working on creating this deck of cards, which you were not totally convinced was something that is worth, going on a quest for, but now you know, at least to someone, it was worth killing for. So, you then went back to the boats, decided that your best bet to beat Restitution, who Kha'rack saw taking off on a rowboat, would be to, take a sailing ship, and you could probably get to Throne Key before Kha'rack would, get there by nightfall, kind of, if the winds are favorable for her, or for Restitution, would get there by nightfall. Wa'apa Ino decided to bet Zeely's armor, which with a approximate suggested retail price of 18,000 gold, for a trip for the six of you that probably would have run about, 50, 60 gold. So naturally, Ashes, the tiefling captain there, took it. You then fought Jor, and you did manage to win, although it was with, you received a big assist from Zeely, giving you a cure wounds during the fight.
I did.
You eventually grappled him to submission and then knocked him out. You would hope to throw him off, but then people said no ring outs, and you were like, okay, got it. So Zeely even then healed Jor after that, kind of just to be sort of using you used your healing hands on him as well to just like, let's just make sure everyone's okay here. We're all just here to have a good time. But with that, Ashes was like, okay, sure, yeah, we'll stop at Throne Key first, no problem. And you all boarded her vessel and set off to Throne Key, now understanding that you are seeking restitution. That's so funny, because the phrase. But you are chasing a tiefling named Restitution who stole something from Acid Frost, though he was a sort of a sun-addled castaway type. Acid Frost seemed very odd and strange. You nevertheless, some of you more than others probably felt that perhaps there was something to him, and had he only approached you with a less wild-eyed, Ben Gunn energy. It's a Treasure Island reference for everybody. Had he only done that, you might have listened to him earlier, and instead he would not have been slain alone as he was. Yes, Whoopi, Or I thought you were raising your hand.
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
gotcha.
Nope.
You
we're good.
You were just sitting
We're
like
good.
that. Great.
Sorry.
Then with that in mind, my friends and neighbors, last session, our sort of tone card was was from the deck of Strange Things. It was the Hanged Man. The week before was from the deck of Secret Things. Who would like to call... KJ, I don't think you've called the opening card yet. You want Strange, Secrets, or Many?
Strange?
Strange. All right.
Stop.
This one's not gonna be upside down.
Understood. We're all happy. Strength.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
How is she leaning on that lion?
By the ear.
Ah, okay. That clears it up.
Carefully.
Strength. And because you didn't put it upside down, we won't even look at the reversed possibilities. Strength means power, energy, action, courage, magnanimity. Also, complete success and honors. A good card to have.
Fortuitous, dare I say.
Ask. I mean, if you're not gonna answer it, that's fine. If I had drawn that, would my parents still love me?
Yes, they would. Had you drawn that card, your parents would still love you. Do you want to know the effect it would have had you drawn it? It's actually the card's called Strength. It's not a I didn't get too creative.
No, it's fine.
You get a +2 to strength.
Yeah.
You do not get a +2 to Strength. Your Strength score becomes 23
Ooh!
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
and cannot be raised.
Nasty.
Cannot be lowered or raised by anything outside of a wish spell.
I don't think anyone would care about that.
It is both a huge effect, and it's also you're just getting the benefit of like a belt of what, like stone giant strength or something.
Yeah.
like that.
So there you go.
Yeah, stone giant. Yeah, because hill giant is 21.
Yeah. So
Ranger build incoming.
there
That
you
would
go.
have been fun.
But no one drew that, so therefore, that's not what's going on. All right, my friends. Those of you used to sailing, specifically Wapaino and Kha'rack, and I would also say probably luck and tenacity, given your backstories, you've had plenty of time aboard ships. On a day like this, to simply sail with speed across the Skeleton Isles, trying to go from one of the keys to another, going from Key Rogue to Throne Key. Side note, I was looking up like the Florida keys, and it's like just a fucking mess as to whether or not it's key something or something key. So I did that too.
Good.
In any case, as you guys go sailing across these sort of tropical waters, let's have Jed. Would you roll a d8 for me?
Yes, sir.
And you want to roll low right now.
2.
2. Good news for you guys. It is a relatively smooth day. You think on a scale of 1 to 8, it's probably at about a 2. That would be your guess. As how much chop is in the water at present. It could technically be smoother, but it's pretty smooth. So the sailing is not like bothering you, Zeely, who are not probably as used to. Absolutely rephrase. This is probably less wave and chop than you had in your journey from the mainland to Key Rogue.
Can Asmar get seasick?
They certainly can, but this amount of chop would probably not get you seasick.
You don't know.
Understood. That's why I said probably. In any event, as you have sailed this way, there is a full crew, and you have one, having made a big outline. Like, no one is required to assist with this sail. Wapaino, if you would like to, kind of in a swaggering way, participate in the sailing, you are welcome to, but it is not a requirement. Kha'rack,
Unless we're doing anything else as a group, like having conversation or something, I think I will spend time helping at least a little bit.
helping out. Okay, in that case, please, and I will let you. I feel like for a monk type, I was gonna say give me a strength plus proficiency bonus check because you're proficient in your sailing stuff. But I suppose you could probably be using your like monkish, dexterity instead. So you can do a dexterity plus. I feel like for a monk, that seems acceptable.
Like basically an acrobatics check.
Yes, acrobatics as opposed to athletics. That's it. Yeah, it's
24.
24. Very, yeah. You are helping things with very good time. In addition, some of you do have pretty high perception, right? Someone in this group does.
I have a +4.
+4. Luck, you might have high perception.
Oh, not me.
No.
I think I'm the highest.
You know what? It's probably Kha'rack. Well, she's busy.
Probably is correct.
She's just talking to all the sailors.
I've got a +3, so
+3. Okay.
good for me.
Then I'll tell you what. Everybody just give me a perception check. Let's all just kind of, you're at various times, let's just see you guys are keeping your eyes open.
8.
16.
16.
8.
Okay. Those of you with the 16s, I guess that would be Wap, and Tenacity. You do notice that there is a Luck. You would notice this as well. I just saw your thing pop up in the shared campaign. You would all notice that there is a rather considerable kind of like hubbub of creatures cresting the water, kind of up ahead of you. Perhaps not in your direct path, but like they certainly could be. These are bigger creatures. Wapa'ino and Tenacity and Luck with your 20, and since all of you are sort of have spent most of your time, in fact, you're the 3 who've really been here in the Skeleton Keys a lot, you know that these are wild seahorses. These are wild giant seahorses, basically like the size of a horse, but they look just like a seahorse. Some real, these are, it is not usual for these to be kind of in these sort of packs like this, and it can be very dangerous. They have been known to sort of sink ships if they kind of are sort of stampeding kind of up at the surface like this.
Would I know why they would cause them to stampede like this, or is it just like a random thing that just happens sometimes?
Let's do I think this would be a nature check.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, which is I feel like...
Oh, 20.
A 20! A veritable 20.
Veritable. Dirty, but veritable.
You have heard tell that sometimes practitioners of magic who might do sort of strange magics or sort of unnatural things on the waves, that occasionally these sort of seahorses, these giant seahorses, which are perhaps a slightly more intelligent kind of sort of undersea creature, they might be sort of drawn to it, kind of curious about it, and might wind up kind of, getting into a sort of stampede mentality. So, Wapa'ino, you would suspect that perhaps, not necessarily even recently, but maybe someone passed by these waves, and some magic was afoot, and has caused kind of the latent effects might be bringing this stampede.
Does the rest of the crew seem to notice this?
Ash's crew, they're not noticing. You guys, will say you, Luck, and Tenacity have sort of pointed it out to yourselves first.
Gotcha.
You may do what you wish.
Asha! Up ahead! Stampeding seahorses.
Ashes is just kind of looking around.
We're on the right track, I think. We're following some
we're on
magical
the right
signatures.
track. If there's stampeding seahorses, that's the bad track. We gotta move the boat out of the way.
Well, yes, but we're headed in the right direction.
Why?
The point is the seahorses ahead of us.
All right. Given a warning ahead of time, they will sort of turn the boat. It won't be a major delay, but they'll kind of, they'll cut across the wind for a while, kind of sail with the wind, tack, whatever the hell it's called, and they'll sort of, move alongside the wind for a while before sort of cutting back and diverting. But this will probably add 20 to 30 minutes to your trip total.
Is there anything in the pile of horses that we would notice, like anything of interest?
Because you are diverting from it, when you guys were, I'll tell you what, if everyone can make another perception check, if you ask Zeely and Kobold, you guys can all try another perception check when you're kind of the closest you'll be to them, because you are kind of trying to keep stuff, but none of you, oh, wait. Okay. Ashes would have a spyglass. So if you would like to ask Ashes to use her spyglass, you could.
I will.
Okay. She'll, you beat her person. She's like, yeah, sure. So she'll hand you a spyglass. So, Wapa'ino, you can have advantage on this check.
Nice.
And it also means a success. You will be able to see things in a little more detail.
20.
20. Great. Anybody else?
12.
Anything of note? Cool.
19.
19. Great. So yeah, you're now that you're sort of paying attention, you're seeing. You do notice that there is something floating in the water. Something that has like a flash of gold on it.
That is not the.
Amidst the seahorses. Wa'api'ino, because you have a spyglass, you can tell that what is floating seems to be. Maybe some is submerged below the water, you're not 100% sure, but from what you can tell, it looks like the same sort of like gold-laid, laminated wood material that card was made of. The one that Kha'rack has and found on the boat.
I will scan our group and see who has magic, and then point to them and be like, Luck, tenacity, there's another card in the water. I don't know if you can retrieve it.
It's how, this sheet looks like. How big is the sheet that we're seeing?
Wa'api'ino has seen it. It is. You assume it's like it's maybe 3 inches by 4
Very
inches.
small.
Very small. Yes.
How far is it?
It is. I think probably. I mean, she's trying to give them a pretty wide berth, so it's probably like 100 feet away at closest. Oh, were you guys gonna try to mage hand?
Maybe.
What is the range of mage hand? Is it 30 or is it
30
60?
feet? Yeah.
Okay. You can definitely ask her to get closer, but if you come within 30 feet of this, the ship will be in some danger.
Yeah. No, that's.
Seems worth it if we're on the track of this. Is what we're here to find.
Is there a little dinghy or something we can lower down?
Ooh. She does not have a dinghy of that thing. This is like a
Only a big dinghy.
This is not like a galleon, This is like there's no below decks on this one other than I guess some storage. This is like just kind of like
There must be like a lifeboat or something.
What about?
An excellent idea, all the less.
That seems like a safety issue.
Yeah, probably is. What about a what?
Like a lifesaver?
A life preserver?
Yes.
Sadly, no.
Well, I don't have any way. Can we just throw? I don't know.
Ashes. Should we?
What?
I'll check with everyone. Can we get closer?
You warned me about that, so I'm getting out of the way of it with good reason.
I understand, but there's something in the water there that I think we need to retrieve.
I
mean, who among us is the strongest swimmer? Just tie a rope around them.
You're gonna
There
swim
we
into
go.
You're gonna swim into the. What? She kind of thinks that's a wild idea, but she says, "I mean, we're
the seahorses
into the seahorses, yeah."
Oh well, yeah, that's fair.
What?
I could.
So they're like stampeding. You said.
They're kind of like it's just like they're in that area, sort of all kind of swirling
Is
around.
there like? So
Are they aggressive?
They seem a little aggressive. I'm going to rephrase that. They seem agitated.
is there like a saying or something like how if it's like for bears, like if it's black, fight back or whatever? Is there a seahorse saying that we know about that'll calm down seahorses?
You can do a nature roll.
Is there question? Do I know how smart seahorses are?
17.
Ooh. You can also do a nature roll. God, I love these nature rolls. We never do nature rolls. A 17, huh? They typically aren't. They're typically only anxious if like something sets them off. Wa'api'ino, have you shared with the group why you think there's a thing there? Have you shared with them the insights you've had?
No, but I'll do so now. Yes, they get agitated by it. I've heard tale from sailors passed down through my family lineage that they get agitated when magic is afoot nearby. I think the card perhaps has put them in this state.
Kobold, how did you do for your roll?
I got a very, very, very hefty 2.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, horses are reasonably intelligent. Seahorses may also be reasonably intelligent. How close are we to the seahorses?
You're kind of over 100 feet or so.
Okay, so but within 120 feet.
You are within 120 feet.
I would like to cast message at one of the seahorses.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And so I point toward the creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only target hears the message and can reply in a whisper only you can hear. So I mean, we'll see if I get anything through. But it was like, and I'm gonna. Do you mind if we approach and remove this detritus from the water?
Oof.
Nah. Do a leap if yes, please.
Kobold, I'd like you. I think you're going to need to roll an animal handling on this to sort of speak to it. To speak to it in such a way. I know you prefer I say persuasion, but I think it's an animal handling.
You didn't want to ask if they could bring it?
A 12? Okay. You notice, like, you say leap if you say leap if yes. Instead, you notice one of them begins thrashing very wildly and kind of like seems to be like looking like you can even see the splashes from this distance. And you know, if Wapa still has the thing up, you notice one of them it's not leaping up kind of in a very affirmative way so much as like jumping into the other ones, freaking out like, oh my god, guys, what is going on? Yeah, this is yeah. Go ahead.
Perhaps if magic sets them on edge, we shouldn't be using magic to communicate with them.
No, I mean, well, it's that ship has sailed, but also, yes.
We could tie a rope to my javelin. I could try and strike it. Not the horses.
That seems a very difficult shot.
Also, it could damage the pod itself.
Let me try this.
Are we not taking it to damage it?
We want to see what it is.
I think we're more in the fact-finding part of this mission, if I'm not mistaken.
I would like to cast thaumaturgy, and with a booming voice say, "Shoo, scram, move away."
Okay. So, just to clarify, Jed has expressed that they are often attracted. Wapa Eno has expressed they're often attracted to magic. Kobold has cast some magic, which has flipped them out, and now you are making a sort of big magical boom.
Well, no, I'm just amplifying my voice, so I figured that's not really like
it's not the magic. But
yeah, I feel like
they seem to say it's magic. Okay, got it. Understood. Okay. In response to that, they do begin to move
towards us.
But they begin to move towards you. There is definitely not all of them.
What is a giant seahorse's natural predator?
Ooh, probably a shark of some kind. I'm trying to think of
a regular shark, or does it have to be a giant shark?
Well, I mean, I'm sure some sharks would bother them.
And in their commotion, are they bringing the card closer as well?
Ooh. Make a perception check.
Can I see through the looking glass?
You can also make one with advantage. With your thing, you still see it like it's kind of like dipping under the waves and popping up. You don't think it's being fully brought with them. And they're not all coming. They're kind of all freaking out, but a couple of them seem to like sense whether it's that the sound is over there. They're sort of moving in the direction of it. At this point, of course, Ashes is like, what? She's kind of like looking at Luck like, what are you doing? But now she's, telling people to like, kind of sail really fast away from them. But what do you guys want to do?
Well,
I mean, if they're coming closer, might as well be opportunity. I want to really try and like get ready and hone in on the card so I can try and mage hand it if it gets close enough.
Oh, if the card is swept close enough so you can grab it. Okay, cool. You can make a perception check, Tenacity, and they've, between Zeely and Wapa, kind of,
perhaps
Go ahead, Luck.
Perhaps we suggest that we do a sort of wide arc and, sort of lure them away and double back to get this thing.
Double back? What are you talking about, double back?
Well,
We've got to get out of here.
Ashes, this is a solid plan. My friend Luck here has crafted
17.
a great idea.
It's classic, gambit.
Luck, go ahead and give me a persuasion.
Okay. Okay. Oh. 11.
She's like, you want to ride to Throne Key. Nobody said anything about going back and doubling back against creatures like this. Would anyone else like to attempt anything here while they're sort of attempting to set sail to sort of just move away from this?
I take out 5 gold coins and I just put it on like whatever's near her, and I said, a small detour.
Were you gonna do something?
But would we not have already paid more in my armor had we lost? I think this is a very expensive ride.
Yeah, but you didn't pay anything for it.
We won.
Precisely. She'll look at the coins and say, that being said, might be better to get a little something for it. Might as well arc back. All this gets you, she says of your 5 coins, all this gets you is that we'll tack that way, not that way. We'll see how things work out about keeping for it closer. But they will begin to sort of try to move the boat in that direction. I'm now going to roll on behalf of their sailors. Ooh, pretty good. So they do manage to kind of, they're catching the wind and they are kind of curving the boat rather than away from this. They're now sort of curving in front of it, and as they're kind of running parallel to it. I'm just going to roll. I'm rolling a lot of luck tonight, but that's just what you got to do in this game because they don't have a thing for you guys to roll it. But I just rolled a 19 on this brand new blood die. So I think 1 is very tilted to that, but 2, a 19 is good luck. So tenacity. Here is the situation. The churning in the waves and these things going, they have moved the card. From your perspective, you've been keeping an eye on the card, and I'm sure Wapi, has been looking as well with the stuff, and Zeely's had a good eye on it. The card is now about 50 feet away from the boat. It is bouncing in the water. It's kind of moving in the direction, but also these things are sort of, kind of like still kind of coming after the boat, and some of them are still around it.
Okay.
Do any of you have an area of effect magic you can place behind us to draw these creatures away?
I mean, I could Eldritch Blast.
I could minor illusion.
Oh.
Minor illusion could work. It keeps its form for a minute, right?
Yeah.
It stays in the same place?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You could place it in the ocean in a favorable position. Perhaps that'll draw the horses to it.
That's a brilliant idea.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
Okay,
I didn't
what,
think of it.
I don't know. What do seahorses eat? Kelp? Can I make a giant kelp forest? Or not giant, but...
Make an Arcana roll.
18.
You suspect, based on what you've heard about them and how they're going, you probably want to make you may just want to make like magic.
Okay.
The attracting them to normal stuff is not what's riling them up. You probably just want to give them a like blinking like.
Well, I wanted it to look like a magic-y forest.
Oh
but
sure,
yeah.
I'm so sorry, magic kelp, yeah, for sure. Yes, Kobold?
Is there like some kind of is cannonry? Is this like a gunpowder exist, or is this like?
I think there are cannons on these ships. Whether or not this
one
one
like
has
a small cannonball.
A small cannonball?
Yeah. Or even that could be something small and small, heavy metal object that will sink in the water. I just want something like that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You can find it. Yeah.
I can cast light on this and drop it in the water and see if it drags them if they drop down.
So maybe if you sort of throw that to where her minor illusion is, that'll be a burst of magic, and they'll.
Well, even if I just drop it in the water, it'll just like I'll concentrate on it, and then they'll just it'll just drop down, and it'll be good to go.
Okay. Okay. Are you going to cast it? Are you going to do an illusion as well?
Brilliant
Tenacity?
companions.
If it's necessary, yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Go ahead and do an investigation, Kobold, to see sort of the placement of this.
Yay! That's just a 6. These dice here. Hey, you know what the problem with this dice is? Pierce gave them to me.
Wow, that's all you need to
So,
say.
and I'm willing to go on the record and say that is the issue.
They're cursed. Well, in that case, Tenacity, it will be necessary for you to do a minor illusion, because he kind of just it just gets sucked up into the boat's thing, and no one even notices the light of it. They're kind of being more crazy, but they don't seem aware. So Tenacity, why don't you place a minor illusion? Magical kelp, as you said.
You did say that.
Give me a. You could do either investigation or. Yeah, I think that's the best for like placing things, kind of, mathematically. You could pitch something else if you have one, but that's kind of the.
No, because I rolled fine. 19.
Okay. I don't need a better thing. I rolled okay. Understood. That does seem to draw off a larger group of them, sort of in that direction. And at that point, Ashes will pause and say, "So you want us to cut this way a little more?"
Yes. Yes.
Great.
Closer.
Well, 5 gold got you here. 5 more will get us to turn that way.
Ashes. Come on.
It's like
Come on.
It's like your Azabar friend pointed out. I'm not making any money on this.
I didn't fight just to lose all our money. Come.
This is where we are.
This takes us more to our destination.
We're literally turning around.
I put 3 gold on the deck for her.
She'll pause. It's getting to the point where, like, if the boat is gonna try to cut and let Tenacity get within 30 feet, it's really getting to the edge. But after that, she just in time picks it up and says, hard to port, and they do turn. Tenacity, you're keeping watch. You see it bobbing in the water. There still are a few seahorses there, and in fact, a couple of, just because you guys are kind of cutting in this thing, many of them have rushed off, and now they're just kind of all over the place. But the ship is occasionally being, impacted by one. It's not like you're in no danger, but it's kind of a sort of, kind of as they glance the side of it, or kind of, you hear these like odd sort of like scraping sounds against it as they impact. But Tenacity, you do get within 30 feet.
Okay, so then I do the thingy. Do I don't have to roll for it, right? Like
You don't. It's, to be totally honest, kind of boring in my opinion. It's I like how in all the other games you have to roll to do everything, and at this there's a lot of stuff you just don't even roll. But yes, you reach out and you pluck this little scrap of a card out of the water. And as the ship, with you sort of call it that you have it, they then begin to turn starboard instead and cut back on their original route.
I'll just keep it like floating next to me. I won't touch it.
Understood. So yes, you floated on here. So as the ship continues on its way,
you can see the hand, right?
Yes, a normal mage hand you can see. It's only it's a
The
spectral hand. Only the thieves.
Then the hand is holding it like this.
Okay,
as if
kind of
it's
like touch it. Even your magical hand touches it as little as possible. Understood. Yeah. So as you're sort of holding it at a distance, what you see is that it is not even a complete rough draft card. It is merely a kind of like a torn sort of scrap, very waterlogged. You're not sure if it was. Actually, anyone could do an investigation if you're high on it. or even if you're not.
Natural 20. 21.
Wow.
Nice.
I was gonna say I'm gonna put away these pierce dice and roll something else, but do I
Well,
see watching this right now too?
D&D Beyond's been rolling great for me
been
so
rolling
far.
great for you tonight. That's wonderful. Well, Whopper, as you kind of get sort of closer and see it, you suspect that these cards were. You don't think it was like torn up in the water. You think it was a scrap of card, and then fell into the water. You can, however, make out a little bit of a drawing that had been on the card, and it has a very distinctive, very sort of distinctive pattern. It looks like some kind of. We'll say you're kind of just seeing like just the top of the cards. You're not getting any like words, and there are also sort of some of those proto sigils like you guys saw on the one that Kha'rack still has. But this one seems to depict some sort of like the top of some tower, and there appears to be like rough lines coming out of it to imply light or energy. But you think that this was probably something that was, for all you, it seems like the tear in it seems old enough that Acid Frost might have only gotten this scrap. Like it is something that was only ever a scrap amongst his belongings. That's your guess.
Cool.
Okay. I'll share all that with everyone.
Cobalt, are you able to, through your magical powers, determine if somehow this was purposely laid here?
I mean, I could certainly try.
Also,
I mean, yeah, if you want to consult your third eye or
Well, the problem is I've already done this once today, and each subsequent time I do it. Sure, I'll try. I'll try and can I? Okay, I can. It's kind of like a reverse divination. But can I try and? I mean, I know there's a 25% chance. Like, can I try and like see if how this got here?
Absolutely.
it's so great. It's an ability I have no familiarity with in D&D, so I'm really like, ooh,
What is
what's
your
gonna
question,
happen?
Kobold?
Was this magical scrap left in the ocean by purpose or by mistaken intent?
You sort of ask your question, and yes, as you say, you're like, this isn't quite the typical use of divination. But I will also say, Cobalt, you often find you're maybe able to get a little something, even when it's not.
Yeah.
However, you receive no reply. Nothing but the rocking of the boat. You don't kind of have that moment of kind of some unspoken intuitive words, because I rolled a 4 on the d4. I'm sorry.
Well, I gotta have my say I do not know.
would you? What? Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's not always. Listen, it's not always.
It's not an exact science. Okay. All right. Okay. It's too bad.
No, this is an interesting addition to our puzzles pieced together, huh?
Very interesting.
Another scrap, a rough draft.
Do we have a geographical map of the key we're going to?
You certainly do, yes.
Would Zeely know if there's any kind of advantage that could lie in a battle, be a trap for us?
A trap that you could set, or a trap you could avoid walking into?
That we might avoid walking into.
Understood. So you are going to be sailing into a port city called Eminence, or at least that's what was sort of you've heard them talk about. If they can show you, someone can break out a map, or maybe there's one hanging somewhere you can just kind of go look at. Throne Key is the largest of the skeleton keys. It does have a few sort of settlements on it, but the largest city, which is like arguably maybe even the largest city within the Skeleton Keys, is this thing called Eminence. It is a, kind of Tortuga from Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, but maybe a little more, sturdy than that. There are other places you could go. The advantage to that is, of course, that it's like a big city. It's, kind of bustling, a lot going on. But also, you don't know it well. You assume maybe some of these other people know it pretty well. As you're looking at the map, you also have no idea where. I mean, it's kind of like you have no idea where Restitution might wind up. If she would just go right into that, or if she'd go on the beach, outside of it. It's the largest of the island, so there's kind of a lot more stuff. There are some other little ports on other areas, and you could request going into there. The only thing that looks like it would be the only like blinking sort of trap is that there is a little like kind of like cove on the side of it that seems like that would be like, that's where you would stage an ambush for someone if you told them to come to this cove, because you could kind of easily kind of have a ship come in behind them, and lots of areas to get from there. That is Ermine Cove, is what it's called. Yeah. But if you want them to not go to any specific place, you could actually, you know what? I'll tell you what, Zeely. Give me an insight roll. Thinking about Restitution. Thinking about 6. You do not have a clear insight into what's going on here.
Who do you think would be the best swimmer? If we had to.
No, I'm not very good.
Probably me.
Oh, yeah, that's my guess.
Okay.
I grew up on the sea, so if anyone would be good at swimming,
The answer
likely
is,
myself.
I guess probably what's her face? Ash is kind of maybe overhearing this. Would kind of look at all of you. Which one of you has the highest athletics score?
+0.
+1.
A 0.
+6.
So actually, it's you.
But
you don't know how to swim.
I don't
but
per se.
you'd pick it up very quickly.
Totally.
Yeah. You have the greatest aptitude. You also have a swimmer's body.
No.
Short legs, long arms.
Yeah,
the
your
stuff
lats are so
as
wide.
hard as ever be.
I would just like to stand a little closer to Wa'apa.
Okay, understood. Oh, gotcha. That being said, though, so everything she was asking about, I'll sort of bring this up in general, Wa'apa. The plan is to go to Eminence. That is where they're going to be dropping you off. Now, not too far from Eminence, there is this area called Ermine Cove, which is known as Wa'apa, you're probably more familiar with it. Zeely was kind of thinking like, oh, that might be where you'd have a trap, although she kind of had nothing further from that. That is also
Smuggler's Cove.
It is also a smugglery kind of place. People will sort of meet there occasionally for dirty deeds.
Well, I suppose this is probably as good a time as any for us to figure out what exactly our objective is here. I mean, we're following this lead and this killer, but what end? Do we wish to confront her? Confiscate her? Dispose of her?
Is there... So there's like a smuggler's cove. Is there like a shady magic cove?
Ooh, a shady magic cove on Eminence. I will tell you this. If any of the... Well, no, actually, some of the others. I will see if there is one there. There is not a shady magic cove. There is, however, in the city, there is a notable sort of like... It's not even like a district. It's probably just like an alley where there's, like a couple of people who purport to be able to sell you magical stuff. But it's... Most of what people get from there is absolute scams and flim-flam.
Okay.
Not real stuff, but yeah.
if we're looking for stuff, Eminence is as good a place as any to find it out here in the Keys. But the question is, again, do we wish to capture this woman, this killer?
She's the only lead we
Take
have.
her down?
I don't know if we want to capture her, but maybe learn from her, right?
It's like I care less about the intrigue of the thrill of the chase and more about the intrigue of what's at the end.
Yes.
Good. As long as we are all on the same page. Right, Zeely? Tenacity?
Yes, I just don't want to be here very long.
Of course.
Oh, and tenacity is not in a barrel of any sort.
Tenacity is not only a barrel of the mind.
This entire time, she's just been talking from the inside of the barrel.
She's like mage-handed from there.
She just mage hand through like a little
Yeah.
hole in the side.
Yeah.
Well, if we wish to enter surreptitiously, if Ashes is willing, and I'm sure she would be for another deposit on our trip, I'm sure we could convince her to enter the Smuggler's Cove you pointed out, Zeely.
Oh no, I pointed it out to not go.
Oh, well, that would be my guess. That's probably where our quarry is headed. But
Could we park?
we
in
could
the
also
rear?
enter. We could also. Yep. There is a rear to the island. Yep, we could do that.
Tenacity, if I might. You're very familiar with this island, like having probably spent all of your years until drawing a card on here primarily. This was your place of residence. One thing that is notable to you about being on this island, just information you would have, is that Ermine Cove is one of the only places that the Haitian trading fleet would never go to because it's so treacherous and dangerous and they don't have any sort of stuff there. So if one didn't want to be observed by anyone involved in that place, it actually might be a great place to get dropped off.
Okay, then yeah, I think Ermine Cove is an excellent idea. Even if not the final destination, I think it's a good place to stay a while and plan our next move. You know, as long as we need. I think we should not rush out without knowing what we're doing. And Ermine Cove is probably the best place.
Well then, we're in agreement. Perhaps I think Ashes isn't really a fan of mine right now. Perhaps Luck or Cobalt or Zeely would try to negotiate suitable transfer price.
Is the amount of gold that we have listed here in D&D Beyond accurate?
That is how much gold you have, yes.
Okay.
And Wapian has already spent 8 of his.
Yeah, okay. Ashes.
Yes.
Hey, is it possible, through your strong and caring hearts, that you could drop us off a little closer, if not directly at Ermine's Cove?
Oh, well, I won't go into Ermine Cove. It's too
You have to go
treacherous.
in,
But...
just kind of close, maybe just a little closer.
Oh, you don't even want to go to the city? You'd rather go...
Preferable, if you're amenable to it.
Give me a persuade.
Yep. But I have lucky, right? How does that work now?
Oh, lucky. You can spend one of your luck points to give yourself advantage on a roll before you make it.
Yes, please.
Cool. All right. So so basically, you I think if you click on your features and traits, you if you scroll all the way down, you see your luck points. You can just click one, and then you got advantage on this.
Oh God, that was a 3.
Well, the advantage is good.
That is a 17. Thank God. Okay, so plus 6.
Oh, a 23.
Yes.
She'll kind of like, you're just kind of making this, and maybe she just looks over at Wapiti, with a glare,
And I
says,
will like ever so subtly also bat my eyelashes.
Understood. Well, that's what
not like overtly, but just kind of like.
That's what the 3 over 20 was. That was the eyelash batting. Ashes will kind of, Sure, we'll let you off on the beach. How about that?
It's so very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Sure. Honestly, that means we don't have to. I don't want to take. I'm not taking this ship into Ermin, but I'd love to not pay any.
No, of course, yeah. Why?
I don't want to pay
why would
anything
you?
to stop at Eminence. Yeah. All right.
Terrible place.
Okay, so she'll do it for free.
Thank you. And then Tanais will just go back and be like, all done. We're good.
Amazing.
I knew you'd be a fine addition to this group.
Yes, thank you.
Oh wait, do you speak Chthonic?
Me? Yes.
Okay. She is also a Chthonic tiefling, so she'll probably say, okay, darling. She'll give you some I guess what would the Chthonic term for my super deep under the ground one? I don't know. Yeah, that's some term like that. That's what Chthonic means. Guys, let's not worry about it. Anyway, the point is, you may all gain the benefits if it behooves you at all of a short rest. I think for most of you that doesn't have much of a thing, but if anybody gets anything back on short rest, you can. And I'm not sure if you ever cast any spells luck, but if you have, you can have a spell back being a thing. Wapi, if you wanted to spend some time, if you wanted to spend a hit die healing, you could do that.
Yeah, I suppose I should.
But at this point, you guys will find yourselves suddenly, you see Throne Key in the distance. You even get close enough that you can kind of see in the city of Eminence, high on a promontory, there is this massive throne made of coral that was there long ago. It's scaled for a giant, so the Goliaths often have a lot of interest in there's a lot of theorizing over what ancient giant king used to sort of hold court from the coral throne here on Throne Key. But that is not where you're heading. Instead, you sort of curve around the side of the island, and Ashes will take her boat, sort of, basically, it's like you guys are basically just gonna jump over the side and have to, kind of walk through some water, up to maybe your ankle or up to your knees or so. It's a vibe here, but you'll be able to get to, you'll then be able to get to walk to Smuggler's Cove from there. Because of you made a brief detour, but honestly it wasn't that brief. Didn't take you off, so it's still probably 3 or 4 in the afternoon, a few hours until darkness falls, so you can presumably make a what do you guys want to do? You have time. You have a few hours before you suspect that restitution would arrive by rowboat at the earliest.
Oh, we beat her here.
Oh, you definitely beat her here. Yeah, taking a sail.
Do we think she would go straight into the cove, or?
You, based on what Apina was saying, he suspected she would be coming to the cove. Yeah.
Would she go straight into it though, or would she kind of go off to the side?
You don't know. You're not sure. It definitely is a place that, under cover of night, you might, row into secretly and everything. If you're doing
some cliff or top or something, or
there are many hiding places around the cove.
I just want to some high vantage point where one could see someone rowing in.
Absolutely, you could. Yeah, there's a spot where if you guys want to do, I'll tell you what. Somebody give me a survival check to sort of.
I mean, I am proficient in that.
Chart your way there.
And this is a non-pierce style.
Perfect. And you do remember, you do have your heroic inspiration.
So true. Well, I'll use that right now.
There we go.
That's much better. That's an 18.
With an 18 cobalt, as you guys kind of walk along the beach, the sort of sand, it's very sort of hot to you in your armor. It's oh my gosh. But as you guys sort of get there, there is in fact kind of along the sort of side of the cove, there is kind of a larger rise of kind of a rocky face. and you can lead everyone up that. And since you have so much time, I won't even make you roll athletics checks. You know, it's some hard going, but since you're not like racing the clock, you guys can, you know, Cobalt can spot out stuff. So I would say that probably by like the shadows are beginning to get long when you find yourselves all up at the top there. You are looking now, so you have a good vantage on the ocean heading into the cove, and also kind of down on the cove itself.
In the cove, is there like settlements and buildings and stuff?
No, it's like there's
It's just deserted.
Yeah, there's a few structures there, but they're not like well attended. You know, there probably is a little pier someone put in, and there are. Well,
Are we on the pier side of the cove?
you are. Why don't I do a little terrible drawing? Because what is D&D without a hastily drawn? Okay, so, this is so bad. Okay, so, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Okay, so, if here's the ocean, here's the island, this is the water of the cove kind of coming into it. So you guys landed on the beach here. You walked here. This is kind of a cliff face that you're up on top of, and the pier is like there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's maybe like another structure here or there, you know. And the cove itself is maybe 150 feet across. It's not, you know, huge.
Gotcha.
Secluded kind of spot. Maybe 200 feet. It's enough that you could carefully maneuver a large ship in, and, you know, unload a bunch of stuff between. You could maybe have a couple ships in there unloading and stuff, but it's, yeah, that's the vibe.
I mean, we've all unloaded stuff from frigates before, so we get the concept.
Have we?
Sure. Well, yeah.
I mean, the real ones.
Yep.
Should we all should we all just hang out here, or should we prepare ourselves to confront this witch when she lands?
I mean, if we wait here, then we have a better chance of, we can see which direction she's going, and then go that way. She may not come directly into the cove. She may go off to the side.
Well spoken, Cobalt. Excellent. So we wait here. Excellent. Papa, you know, we'll lay down, take a nap.
Perfect. The sun sets. The moon is bright. You no longer have a spyglass. Ashes would not have given that to you. But anyone who'd like to, sort of peering out onto the ocean, if you would give me a perception check. I guess aside from Wapa'ino, who's asleep.
Do we have
Epic.
any benefit from dark vision?
Yeah.
I think
I
the
know it's
moon.
long range, but yeah.
The moon is probably giving you enough. Like, the moon is probably bright light at this point.
Okay.
I'm sorry, unless those of you with dark vision have huge benefit right around you.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I believe literally everyone but Wapa'ino and Kha'rack has dark vision. Actually, maybe they gave it to Dragonborn now.
Tenacity got her non-nat 20.
Non-nat 20. Wonderful.
I got a 22.
22. Okay, so
17.
Tenacity and how'd you do, Luck?
17.
Yeah, Luck, you're sort of you kind of will say that like Cobalt spots it first, but then kind of like Tenacity and Luck see it immediately. How'd you do?
I am a 9.
9, and Zeely's like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? But you all do notice a ship, a rowboat, kind of limping in towards the coast.
I mean,
like
after a full day
half
row.
an hour after dark. And with your 22, Cobalt, and Tenacity with your 20, you probably spotted as well. But with your 22 Cobalt, you can tell like one of the oar locks has been completely broken off. Like the ship looks very battered. Yeah.
So then, can we tell which direction this boat is going?
It is coming straight towards you.
Towards us or towards the port?
No, towards the cove.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean,
it's it's not going to Eminence. It's coming to this sort of smuggler's place.
Right. So assume. I mean, I just once we can ascertain whether the line is taking it into the cove and into where it would unload versus like some other extra secret cave.
Oh,
or
I
something.
see what you're saying. As far as you can tell, it's just coming sort of to where sort of the rocky kind of cutback is, where you would access the cove.
Well, then I'll just say, well, it looks like our murderer has arrived, or is in the process of arriving.
That being said, Cobalt, you had a 22.
Yes.
We'll extend this a bit, and you do have your dark vision. The range is 60 feet.
60 feet, yeah.
Well, we'll give it
we'll
see.
Yeah.
There's a flash of whatever. Because within the cove, there's a good, canopy of sort of trees, and the taller rocks can make it a little more shadowy, harder to spot things, especially at night. Cobalt, you do see, however, that a few figures, also cloaked, seem to be emerging from the trees over by the pier.
Well, with that, I'll point that out and I'll say, I think we should rather get there with all due haste then. Whether they are on her side or against her, it would, I think, be wise to. I mean, if we wish to learn more, we might want to insert ourselves into this meeting.
Okay.
Breathe.
Unless the rest of you have different ideas.
No, this is fun.
So you have a few options to get down. One is you could sort of, kind of scamper down, and by the time she rows in, maybe a little boat around that. Not necessarily going to be the stealthiest option. Another not stealthy but fast option would be to just jump off the cliff into the water.
That's a death sentence. Since some of us are wearing armor, and
She's a strong swimmer, though.
I mean, I'm not.
Or you could sort of climb. You could make athletics checks to climb the more sort of sheer face of the rock to get down both sort of faster and more directly, and maybe still stealthily.
Well,
your safest option is to just kind of have Cobalt sort of retrace the steps and hope that going down is easier than going up.
Yes, I mean, because we'd be circling. If we landed here and went up here, and the things over here, we'd be going down a different way, right? Circling down.
That's true. You could go down a brand new path. Yeah, no problem.
Or circle down.
Would we lose sight of them?
You would, while going down, you would lose sight of them. Yes. But if you hurry, you think you can sort of make it at least to striking distance of the pier before she were to arrive. I guess the question is, how stealthy do you want to be? How fast do you want to go?
If we're trying to be stealthy, are you going to make us roll both an athletics and a stealth, or could we do like one or the other?
Would depend on the path you're choosing, but there one option that gives you everything would require both like an athletics roll and a stealth roll, which for many of you is probably a bad thing to roll.
Here's a separate question.
Yeah.
Because it's night, because we're moving through foliage, and because the people that are waiting for her on the other side of the cove, if less worried about sight, more concerned with sound, what is with considering the distance that there is, what is the chances that we'll be heard if we just move quickly?
Not so much immediately, but the closer you get, the more.
Perhaps we just get ourselves down to, beach level-ish, and then we move stealthier as we get closer.
Sure. To do that quickly, we'll need someone, probably Cobalt, to give me a survival check to sort of guide yourselves down sort of swiftly. If only there were a ranger.
It seems
Cobalt
like
will do.
there's a party that either
Cobalt.
that mostly dumped wisdom, which I respect heartily. That's 15.
15. It will say that that's actually sort of good. You know, there's definitely some missteps and some rocks going sliding, but you know, there's plenty of water. You know, sound from the
And
waves and
most
stuff.
importantly, you know who gave me that die?
Pierce.
No, I bought it for myself.
Oh, there you go. You did it. Sisters are doing it for themselves. That's a good song. So, yes, you managed to get down. And from where you are here, at this point, if you want to be stealthy, you will need to roll stealth checks, yes, but you managed to sort of get down. While here, you can see that the boat is now in the cove, sort of beginning to make its way over to the pier where those people are waiting.
Yes, well, I think we should move stealthy then. But get
I
after.
agree.
All right. Anyone who'd like to do a stealth check? You also are allowed to do the thing where not everyone does a stealth check, and stay back, and then you'd have to you'll be far further away for the fight. So you have to spend some time running if there is a fight.
I think that's maybe
18.
So
Perhaps we should.
So tenacity is good. So yes, tenacity will stealth, having already rolled it. Great. Who is going to sneak over there, and is anyone staying back? I guess that's my question.
I already
Sneak
rolled
over
my
there.
roll.
You'll sneak over. Luck,
Same.
are you going to sneak as well? We're going to assume Kha'rack is sneaking because she's, a rogue.
Yeah. I'll stay back.
You'll stay back. Okay, so Luck and Zeely will stay back.
Okay, well, I guess Zeely
Oh.
will stay back.
Zeely, do you want to stay back?
Yes.
Sorry. Because you have a +0 and a disadvantage?
It's very shiny though.
Oh, thank you.
So how did everyone else do with the sneaking?
13.
Hey,
Oh.
Hey, and we're not. Isn't it nice that we're not in a domain of dread right now?
Ah.
well, I mean,
Lovely.
it was a 10
Lovely.
on the die, so
Yeah. Well, still.
A 13, huh? Okay. I have to check one other person. Perfect. Okay. So
Roll for Dreadstorm.
Cobalt, Tenacity, and Wapaino, and I'll roll for Kha'rack as well. Why not? What does Kha'rack have to stealth? Like 7,000 plus 6? Yeah, Kha'rack's at 18. You're fine. So as you guys sort of sneak, kind of probably staying within the trees and just kind of going here. As you get closer, you can hear restitution in the boat. And honestly, Zeely and Luck, you can maybe even hear some of this, just even with the water echoing. But you hear restitution saying, it's been very difficult. The sea creatures have been very agitated. They've been hitting my boat the whole way. I could not get away from them quickly enough. And she kind of doesn't even go to she just kind of crawls up onto the pier, and the rowboat is there, and one of the other cloaked figures steps forward and says, "But do you have it?" "Yes, I have. Well, I have lost the odd sort of scrap here or there, but he is dead, and I have everything he had. So I would consider this a success, despite how long it has taken me." "That's good. That's very good. Well, come on then. Let's see it." "It is not for us to see." "Right, but I mean, you've seen it, haven't you?" "Well, yes, I had to confirm it was what it was. I also saw one of them in action. He summoned a dead with it. He raised them and they attacked. It was... and he said it was but a rough draft, a taste of the power." "Well, come on, let's see." "No, it is not for you to see. We will take it. We'll take it to him and perhaps he will show us." "I'm not sure I trust you." "Oh, you're not? Well, good for you. If you kill me and take them here, I suppose you will be rewarded. It's not like he would know that you've done that." A tense moment follows from here. Yes,
how
Cobalt.
well can we see what's going on?
Make a perception check. Kind of, there's some moonlight, but these are shadowy figures,
17.
Restitution looks bedraggled, exhausted. Her arms, she's been rowing all day and fending off giant seahorses and apparently other sea creatures. But she still has a sort of edge and defiance to her. There's this figure who's talking is kind of based on his, I guess it's interesting because you guys can probably tell who people are based on hood shapes in this thing. The one speaking to her, as far as you can tell, is probably a dragonborn. Or just a very, very burly and short... if it's not a dragonborn, it's a very burly and short-horned tiefling. But you're pretty sure it's a dragonborn. There is another figure standing behind the dragonborn who you think is also a tiefling.
Does it seem like does it seem like things are about, like, you said it's a tense moment, but does it seem like things are about to come to blows?
Ooh, why don't you give me an insight, and actually anyone, we'll say all of you even, that last little bit there were some voices raised, so anyone could do an insight. Just
Now that's a natural 13 right there.
all
Six.
right.
Or a 16.
22.
22, 16, 6,
16.
16. Luck, how did we do?
Oh, I didn't realize I was doing it because I was so far away.
Yeah, you guys can probably even like be you heard
insight?
those- Insight, yeah.
Okay.
But no worries if you didn't, because Zeely's reading the situation fairly well.
8.
Yeah. So, Zeely, you suspect that there's the possibility they're about to start fighting, but maybe it will be diffused. Cobalt, you definitely sense that there is... Oh, sorry, Wapi, you had the 22?
Mm-hmm.
With your 22, Wapi, you definitely feel like this is like it's a real could go either way. This is two people staring each other down, like is someone gonna punch? But that guy who's asking says, fine, I'll let him show us anything. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll want to. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Precisely. That is the whole point. Do you have food for me? Do you have rum? He says, we got some rum. Yeah, here you go. And he'll sort of hand her a little flask, and she sniffs it. Starts drinking. Like, what? You don't trust me? Of course I don't trust you. She hands it back. He's like, well, come on then, we'll get you to where we're staying.
Wapa's gonna whisper to Cobalt. Are we better off? Should we follow them or should we take them?
There are only 3 of them.
Follow. I think we should follow them instead of fighting.
I just put up a hand. Like I push it and kind of holding him back a little bit.
Understood.
Oh.
And tenacity is also suggesting not fight, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Kha'rack with you guys will say, that's lame. Meanwhile, Zeely and Luck. Oh, actually, Cobalt, I keep forgetting, you can communicate to your other party members.
Yeah.
If you want to tell them, what's going on, if you'd like to.
I mean, if they're within 120 feet, I can see them.
They definitely are. They're probably like 80 feet behind you, something like that.
Actually, yeah, technically I don't have to see them.
You don't. That's the beauty of the spell.
Yeah.
As long as they're in range.
I'm just gonna just like point back over my shoulder in the direction of Zeal and go. They've reached an accord. We're going to follow them.
Okay. I would like to whisper to Luck, to so politely ask you to stop breathing through your mouth. And we're gonna follow them.
That sounds good. Wasn't breathing.
Oh no, it's totally fine. I just couldn't hear that well. Thank you.
No, I get it. It's fantastic.
By the way, Luck, are you wearing your
Yes,
you're
I'm wearing
a mask? Perfect.
my.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, they do turn and head off into the woods. So if you guys are going to be following them and tracking, kind of obviously you're kind of maybe doing this in some waves and avoiding this stuff. So Cobalt, it's really kind of coming down to you since you're the resident survival person here.
Yeah, I got a whopping +3 to this, which
Wow.
makes me the expert.
Let me see if Kha'rack is better at survival. Nope, she's not.
I was like, oh, thank God. My +2 just isn't going to cut it.
Oh man, and I took it's because I have a +1 to wisdom and I have proficiency, so there we go.
It's a win. It's a win.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Boom, that's a 17.
It's been holding you, carrying you through. And I will say that they are so basically what you guys are doing is kind of holding off, kind of going slowly enough, you won't have to roll stealths. Cobalt, you're kind of just tracking slowly, and they're speaking, so it's not like they're trying to not be followed. They didn't think anyone was there, so you have gotten there. And it takes some time going through the forest, especially kind of staggering yourselves out to avoid detection. But Cobalt, with you sort of leading in the front here and kind of tracking them, you eventually discover that they have made their way to a small, kind of like rough fortification, kind of like almost like a tree fort, albeit one that has pretty nasty looking defenses, some like just spikes in the ground kind of stuff. It's also kind of within this sort of dense area, and it also has like a sturdy gate kind of that's been sort of screwed in around the wood. So it seems like a fairly defensible area, but you notice they go to that and they sort of bang on it, and somebody kind of comes forward and opens it up. Kind of you all, even maybe not Zelie and Luck if you're further back, but even like Wabi, and Tenacity, you hear this loud creaking sound up ahead, and the sort of some voices as these cloaked figures go within. You also notice that they're probably they would be because they're stupid. There are some like torches burning. Maybe not just like super hot, but like you can sense some fiery glow even if you don't see actual flame. There may be kind of up somewhere within this little tree fortification. Some torches, and you and Cobalt, you would have saw a torch in hand from whoever sort of came and let them in.
Like how?
Is
Are
this
the
like
walls
a
scalable?
famous tree fort of a gang? Like, is this something?
Go ahead, Tenacity, and make it.
Famous tree fort
It's the
gang.
most famous. We're the Tree Fort Gang. Da, 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 but no girls allowed. Da, 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 da,
And
da.
a bunch of installs in there.
Yeah. The Tree Fort Gang in too many donuts. Okay. Tenacity. Give me a history roll.
Fuck.
You can have advantage because you're from here.
Yay. Okay. 16.
This is not necessarily a famous tree fort, but you certainly know there are certain legends about various pirate gangs who used to operate in the Keys. There have been rumors of some, mostly Throne Key was pretty much like purged of them. On other places you would find these kind of it's very Hook vibes, like you'd find these sort of like hideouts, these kind of pirate hideouts on some of the isles. There have been people who say that in the depths of the forest of Throne Key, honestly kind of close to Ermine Cove, where it's just like no one really goes over there, that there probably are still some stuff like this. So while it is not like, you're not like, oh, it's the famous this, it's less, oh my god, it's the thing. It's like, oh, I guess there was one of these. It's that vibe.
Okay.
If that distinction makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. Old pirate roots. These guys don't seem like pirates, though. That seems very clear.
Would seem that we have a choice. We can infiltrate, or I mean, we don't do that. It seems kind of like a bad idea.
Have we hooked up with them yet?
Yes, we'll say that at this point you guys even maybe stepped back. Now that you know where it is.
Are we
you
sure
can
we don't want to just talk to her? Like, I feel like I
Yeah.
had a pretty good rapport.
I feel like I may not have thought this through, and I'm not sure what I would do once I got in there. Honestly, I think I got caught up in the excitement of all this. I can't fight,
Oh, well,
and
okay.
Well, that changes things. I mean, if Kha'rack was feeling better, I'd maybe suggest she goes sneaks in, but I can always try to scale a wall and sneak.
It's fine. I'll go.
But would you like? I can sneak very well myself. If you'd like company.
Kha'rack sneaks in.
I mean, I just wanted to. I mean, I feel like I had a. I mean,
Oh, I'm gonna rephrase that. Kha'rack sneaks off.
All right. All right. I feel like I should. I'm gonna follow her. That doesn't. Does she sneak off towards the freaking keep, or just
She sneaks
into
off
the
like
jungle?
laterally around it as she's gonna maybe try to find like a better entry point. I'll also say, what is your passive?
Stealth, perception, what?
Your passive perception.
Oh, sorry, 14.
Cool. You don't see her. You kind of let her go, and then you're looking. You're like, she's. You're no idea.
and she's gone.
Okay, well, so
Are,
I guess we just sit here and
have we
I brought some cards if we want to.
not another deck.
Not one of those. No.
Ah, then yes, I'm willing to play these cards. Yes.
we could just knock on the door and introduce ourselves.
Did you have a thought, Seely, or were you just awkwardly sitting there?
Oh, yes. Yes, I would. Maybe they have some kind of unifying garb that we could tackle them for and blend in.
Oh,
Oh.
I don't know many criminals that wear matching uniforms.
Dirt.
They all were wearing black cloaks.
Well, there you go.
Philip,
Yes.
in my experience using message, do people know the direction that it's coming from?
Interesting question. Interesting reaction.
Good idea. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
I don't. Oh. Interesting. You definitely don't. You don't think like if you were to cast this to restitution.
No, I was thinking cast it to one of the dumb idiot guards at the tree fort.
Understood. A guard who just like one of the ones you like saw at the door.
I mean, I assume like I can like loosely see like flickering torchlight moving around, so I have a good idea of where people, at least like, some people are.
Yeah. So they have changed it. They have changed the rules slightly, but this part was still in there originally. You can cast this spell through solid objects if you are familiar with the target. So because it's a stranger, that makes it harder to do. I might have allowed restitution, but that's probably not a great idea since she'll, but to do it to an idiot guard, you can try because you sort of like they probably are within, and since that gate is open, you could maybe try to go to that person who you saw and let them in. You could try to message that person.
I just mean like I know I want to like lie to them and be like and like
What?
I'm just mentally spitballing over here. And I want to know if I can like juke someone out with a message.
You think you probably could to a guard like that? Yeah, that the only person you could do that to would be the guard at the door.
Why don't we use the card as a ticket in? Clearly we're with her. Clearly we know what's going on. We just show the card to the guards and say we're here with important business with restitution.
No, I actually kind of like that idea.
Hmm.
I do like that a lot. I'm pretty good at lying to people, if that helps.
That
Oh,
Well,
so am I.
dangerous.
I don't love it.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. I
why
mean,
is that, Zeely?
Well, I am good at it, but I don't enjoy lying.
Oh,
you-
lie. I thought you were
lying.
talking about the plan.
Well, I just thought it seemed like a central aspect of the plan.
Listen, Zeely, I put my hand on Zeely's shoulder. No one is going to ask you to lie. You just don't have to say anything.
Okay, that seems good.
does it? I don't.
Oh,
This feel going into.
What's
So we're going
what's-
into.
Also, no one is saying. Listen, none of us. This is like somewhat muted voice. No one is saying that we are doing this. We're just workshopping.
We're just we're just planning, you know.
Sure. So
it's-
the plan is to follow the known murderer, assassin, who is trying to collect magical cards that can destroy entire villages and people, and just say, hey, we want to talk, and everyone around is going to be okay with that.
I think they should be intrigued and impressed by us.
And then they'll just let us walk out
but
after.
we really don't want to get some of the cloaks. I think I would fit in one.
I mean, sure you'd fit.
Fire folks right now, sure.
I mean, if we want to just infiltrate without saying hello first, we could just knock on the door and basically jump the guard as he comes out. That would be pretty. There's a lot of us.
A voice speaks from the sort of the trees near you and says, "Or we could sneak in this." I'm back. There's also if
Oh
you guys,
my!
if you guys can climb a little bit, there's a gap kind of on the other side that we could get in through.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Wow.
that's fine. We could also do a two-prong effect, you know. Some of us.
I would rather. I think it's better if we all go together that way. If
Okay, that's fine.
some of us get in trouble,
Well-
at least we're all there to help each other out.
Yeah, I agree.
Luck, I don't know that you two had quite the connection that you seemed you had. Just,
With-
she's a murderer, so maybe like,
Well, I don't like to judge, so.
ah,
I think there's some things that's okay to judge on.
I mean, she did kill
I mean,
someone and steal its
we
stuff.
don't. I mean, we don't know that she killed him, right?
She
It's sort
said
of
it. I mean, she did
Wait,
say it when
yeah.
we walked.
I
when
mean,
we were
that's-
listening to her.
I didn't hear that, you know. So
Maybe it was self-defense.
yeah, exactly.
She-
I mean, she did steal his
Pretty
things.
clear
Look,
about
you
it.
literally used your topsy-turvy last game to confirm he was killed in his sleep
Oh
on
right,
your
yeah.
on your medicine roll.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, in his sleep too.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a bad sleeper. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
So I'm picking up a little some things here.
Those night terrors were just too much.
Yeah, no, yeah, maybe she's not the best. I mean, I did feel, but I do know what we shared, so.
okay. I'm just saying, walk carefully. That's all I'm saying.
No. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Well, then perhaps we can just sneak in and listen and get more information, and then when she leaves, we can discuss with her after we have more to leverage with.
I like that.
Well
I
said.
like leverage. Yes.
All right.
That's
Well,
great.
Kha'rack then.
Are we sure that we all? I mean, so it's always a little bit of a delicate balance, you know, when you're shaping a deal or whatever. You know, there's a lot of us. The more people we have sneaking in, the more likely we are to get caught. But also, as Cobalt says, we have more people for support. So I feel like there's a tension there. We're all going together. I feel like that's.
Yes, I think that's.
I think it's. Then we're just gonna knock on the door.
Oh,
Probably.
I think you're not knocking on the door. You're sneaking in.
Right.
I heard.
Right. Since that was the alternative of us knocking on the door,
sorry. I will also mention.
I'm not against knocking on the door.
I'll also mention, just mechanically speaking, we'll do it as a group roll. So, you guys are actually, it's tilted in your favor.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Then
I mean,
we can knock on the door, I guess.
I'm happy.
I meant the sneaking. Wait, what?
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Either way, if it's a group roll,
I mean, the knock on the door, I suppose, is a group roll in that
So
you'll roll
we're knocking
initiative
on
and
the door?
murder a person. But if you're sneaking, I'm not gonna, Zeely, you're not gonna lose because of Zeely. We'll do a group roll in the average.
No.
why don't we can always introduce ourselves at any time along the way. So let's sneak in first.
Yeah, I think that whenever I burgle someplace, I think talking to the people I'm burgling is always a good
Really?
route.
That works for you.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
No, it's.
Kha'rack's like, yeah, I was gonna say, I always just kill them.
I don't know your sense
Okay.
of humor. Is
Humor?
I don't think she has one.
No,
I
I
think
know
it's
funny
there.
jokes.
Oh,
Yeah, like
tell us
remember.
a joke.
Well, remember when I wanted to put tenacity in a barrel?
Oh, that's.
You got me.
But
I
that
wasn't
wasn't a joke.
I wasn't
It's a
joking.
pretty.
Yeah, I didn't-
wanted to do
That's
that.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do. This is exciting. No, I
Then-
think this is new adventures. New.
Then as you follow Kha'rack around this tree fort in the jungle, preparing to sneak in through a spot she found, that is where we'll end tonight's episode.
Oh.
Wawa wee-wah.
Yeah. It's 9:20, so I think we're not gonna start that because But welcome to Throne Key. You've successfully snuck
welcome
and
back
heard
for
stuff.
some of us.
Welcome back to your Go back to the location of your greatest personal anguish. Well, thank you all for watching. Some very fun stuff. Go
Is
ahead.
this where? No, I'm not from here. I'm not from this place. Am I? No.
You might be. I don't think you were on this key. Oh yeah, you were on.
That's not where the shop was. That was like a
Your
different
shop
place.
was on. Why did I not put this into all the things? Yeah, your shop was on a different one. I think it was on. You were on Fool's Land at Port Roast, the coffee place, right?
Ha.
Yeah. All right. So, with that fun in mind, thank you all for watching. We will be back next week with more of this deck-based fun. I'm gonna say the strength that you guys rolled today was reflected in your success. You did have success. You know where she is. She doesn't know you're there. You have tracked her. You arrived before her. You snuck up on her. You've overheard stuff. You have her sort of cornered. So I'll say it is a success. And you
Great
used
work, everyone.
power in action. So well done. An appropriate opening card. Join us. Yeah. So join us next time, a week from tonight for this. But we have some other games along the way. On Friday, we are back with Blood from a Stone. On Sunday, Andrew did some stuff last Sunday. Andrew made some choices last Sunday in our Here Be Dragons game. We are very much in the end phase of Here Be Dragons. I don't think we only have one left, but we're a handful left, a couple left. We'll sort of see how much we need to.
And Philip, I gotta say, it feels like just yesterday I was watching that very first episode where you ripped the hearts out of
The
all
session
those
zero where they built their murderers. Yeah.
That was just
Can we mute?
one of my great
Can
delights.
we mute Dan right now?
Is it
Is
turn him
it
up?
possible
I'm hearing
possible
turn him
to-
up. Is that what Andrew's
Can we
saying?
just mute
Make-
Cut him out.
Yeah, give Dan praise for saying that. So that is on Sunday. Then on Monday we are back with another game that is sort of, I haven't officially announced this, but another game that's kind of driving to a climactic point here is the Dreamlands. As our team is basically, the vote right now is very important. No one voted for Live, but Love and Laugh are neck and neck. That was the options: Live, Laugh, Love.
oh.
Yeah. And Laugh
I
and
didn't even
Love.
realize. I didn't even realize that Liv was running for office. She never posted about it.
That's a Liv joke as opposed to a Liv.
Uh,
So yeah, that's going on there. Join us for that on Monday, and please participate in that vote. This is a bigger one. A vote for Laugh is a vote for bringing Sherlock Holmes back into the proceedings. A vote for Love is a vote for trusting Igor. Both carry, and then a vote for Liv, if anyone cares, is at Jirava Netley. But all the players who were in the pre-stream game about him know that's probably a bad idea. Only Kevin wants that. But nevertheless, vote for whichever one of those. Week from tonight, we're back with this game. I am going to spend a moment plugging a couple of things, if I may. One is that this is out now. Ooh, it's Anna's book from Sunday.
oh, it is out. Yes.
Yeah, so get it. It has lots of delicious photos and recipes of the 101 gluten-free, grain-free, low-carb recipes for living La Bella Vita.
That's right. It's
And
really good.
someday, I'll learn what La Bella Vita means. I think it's something. It's a kind of cracker.
It's like that picture for the La Bella Vita Blue.
There you go. I'm actually gonna I'll put that her link to that here in the chat there. You can order that now from lots of places. In addition, I am now happy to announce, I think I can say this, they haven't actually told me to at Cantrip Candles, but I've seen their post about it and it's on their website. Ooh, the adventure triptychs are now available, featuring the adventures that you might have seen previewed here on this channel. Ooh,
Oh,
that's
cool.
right, the adventures that I wrote. You can get those from Cantrip Candles, and I'll even mention you can also get them. You should just buy the adventure triptychs and get all of the cool candles that come with them, and then the adventure is emailed to you for free. But you can also just download the adventure if you want to. You can just go and download the PDFs of the things. You have seen 2 of them on this channel. You've seen Battleborn featuring Jed and Andrew and the Here Be Dragons crew. You have seen Stealth featuring Dan and all of the Blood from a Stone team. Pensive, you will eventually... you're going to see KJ and Pensive at some point with some of those groups. They're probably like on a Monday at some point here. And there's another one coming later, but that's not an official thing. But anyway, so check all those out. Very fun stuff. And yeah, that's my announcements. Would anyone else like to announce anything or plug anything they're working on?
Friday, come and see on Twitch. Pierce and I do parallel play at, let's say, 10 a.m. Here on Andrew's Trying on Twitch.
Still the game of the
Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, yes, which was just nominated for 2 golden joysticks for best narrative and best indie game.
golden
Yeah,
joystick.
it's a sort of creepy, puzzly, spooky kind of Seventh Guest.
Oh my god, I remember the Seventh Guest. Oh
Yes.
my god.
Yeah.
You just
so, like,
punched me into 1996, man.
Yes, exactly. So it's
Pierce says
it's an
10 a.m.
interesting-
works.
Yeah. It's a pastiche, and I just feel smart for saying pastiche. So that's that. Friday.
I thought it was a German word. I thought it was pastiche.
Pastiche.
It's a pastiche. Well, very good.
They just pronounced pasta.
It's a cute diminutive name for someone named Pasta.
Yeah, pastiche. Anybody else? Very
Good.
cool. Just follow everyone. Just follow what they do. They do cool stuff. Anyway, thank
Follow
you.
us. Follow us into the grocery store. Follow us.
Yeah, follow us to our cars. No, don't do that.
I'd like to thank Dan once again for making things kind of vaguely
Creepy.
uncomfortable on the 1 yard.
Vaguely. I wasn't trying hard enough then.
That's your reputation. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, draw well. Or the next idea I come up with based solely on the face you just made when I said that. Until next time, keep the ante from the pot. The pot called the ante. Until a 4, yeah. So that's generous, Dan. A 4 is generous.
So what's the next one?
All right.
Yeah, the thing that's so frustrating is that you have the capability to stick the landing.
You're not living up
You're
to
just
your potential.
You're choosing not to.
That's true. That's true. fun. But the fun is doing it without the safety of a net, and it's not fun unless I crash most of the time.
I agree. The fun is doing it without the safety of a net.
Okay. Then, from all of us here at the Deck of Long Lost Things, don't forget to cut the cards.
Okay, there we go.
It's almost something. Bye,
Yeah.
everybody. That's higher than a 4. Get out of here, Dan.
Yeah. No,